Venom. Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
A downtown Freeport building that once housed dry cleaners gets some needed attention. Federal funds will help clean up the contaminated site.
Burglaries at popular boat docks in downtown Rockford land 2 teens behind bars. The young men face a list of charges.
And a local park prepares for the big day tomorrow. The new security being put in place for the best spot to watch the fireworks. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. Freeport police asked for help finding a missing 15-year-old girl.
Madison Brown was reported missing last Tuesday. Police say she may have been spotted with an older woman Thursday. Here's Madison's picture. She was wearing shorts and a black shirt. Madison is 5'7" with black hair and brown eyes. If you know where she could be, contact Freeport police.
A teenager's charged after Friday's deadly shooting in Rockford. The victims in that violence were also teenagers, 14 and 17. Friday night around 8, Winnebago County Sheriff's deputies were called to Willard Avenue. That's about 2 blocks east of Cottonwood Airport, north of Auburn Street. Deputies arrested a 17-year-old yesterday. He faces a list of charges, including 2 counts of first-degree murder. Investigators haven't released his name because of his age. There is a GoFundMe for the 2 boys killed. We have that information on our website, mystateline.com. Over the weekend, Rockford police arrested 2 teenagers accused of breaking into boat docks. Our officers responded to the Lombardi Club boat docks Saturday. 2 people on the scene ran off. Police caught the pair after a short chase. 18-year-old Matthew Szymanski and 18-year-old James Johnson were both arrested. Investigators recovered stolen property police say came from the boats.
Part of downtown Freeport will be getting a bit of a makeover.
A federal grant will pay to clean up contaminated property. Jess Lipson learned more about the project. Jess, this is a pretty significant grant.
That's right, Eric and Mimi. It's the biggest of these grants handed out in Illinois by the United States Environmental Protection Agency. Freeport City Hall hopes to create a more lively downtown by cleaning up a chemical contaminated site.
A fresh slate for new economic development, for a new building to come here in Freeport.
The city of Freeport will get $1.7 million to demo and remediate 2 condemned buildings.
This building was formerly a sanitary cleaners, and because of the sanitary cleaner chemicals, it ended up resulting in the contamination of the site.
The buildings have been out of use since 2018, taking up a vital part of the downtown area. The Brownfield grant will allow the city to brighten up the strip as well as put it to good use.
So we're seeing a lot of economic development here downtown, and this just opens up another opportunity because as it is now, we can't open it up. It's a condemned site. So if we remained it to stay as it is, that would be shutting the door on a potential developer or a savvy business owner that's planning on coming to downtown Freeport.
Work on 17 and 19 West Main Street will begin next year.
What our hopes are is to have a fresh slate for a developer to come in and say, hey, this is a prime location because it is on Main Street in our Freeport downtown, and it's a historical place as well. So here's a really great place for you to build your building, for you to have this property, and it's no longer contaminated as well.
There are no plans yet for what would replace the current buildings. Freeport is hoping once the cleanup is finished, they'll start seeing what is next. Eric?
Thanks, Jess. The Rockford Park District Board fills one of its vacant seats. In April, the Park District's Board of Commissioners started the search for the opening. Board members interviewed 7 candidates who applied. Owen Carter is the pick. He'll be sworn in a week from tomorrow. Carter will serve until the April 2025 election.
A local park is getting all set for the big fireworks show tomorrow. Davis Park in downtown Rockford seeing some changes. Gates, tents, and signs are all being added for the 4th of July fireworks show. There will be food vendors and live music throughout the evening. The Rockford 4th of July committee says the park is the prime spot to see all the show over the river.
We have a wonderful launch site. We added 6-inch shells back into our show this year, which we didn't have last year. So Davis Park has always been kind of the best place to sit, but now even more so because we're flex off the river. You see every single effect that we fire. We're not doing any ground effects this year. Everything is high aerial effect, so people from a distance can see it too. But Davis Park is primarily your best place to see the fireworks.
The gates to Davis Park open at 4 p.m. It's $5 to get in and free for children under 5 and veterans. All the festivities tomorrow mean you may need to find another way to get around downtown.
Road closures start at 6 in the morning. Madison Street will be closed from East State to Y Boulevard for the Lifescape 5K. That runs until 10 in the morning. More closures will start at 11 with the Morgan Street Bridge, followed by the Chestnut Street Bridge. Most of downtown Rockford will be closed to traffic at some point. The area affected is marked there on your screen. All streets will be shut down by 3 in the afternoon. The Jefferson Street Bridge will stay open. The parade starts at 440 on 7th Street and 4th Avenue in Rockford's Midtown. It will go north to East State Street, then head downtown and across the river, continuing on West State until Church Street. Eyewitness News has you covered for the 4th of July festivities in downtown Rockford. You can watch the fireworks show from the comfort of your own home over on Fox 39. Our annual live special, A Celebration of Freedom, starts at 9 Tuesday night. Fireworks launch at 9:30.
A new report is declassified by the State Department.
Coming up, it's critical of the U.S. role in the Afghan government's collapse. Blame goes beyond the current administration.
And coming up at 6, South Beloit police make an arrest over the weekend. The suspect in a robbery of a Rockford YMCA is apprehended.
Get in the shade.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Scott Lever, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
A State Department report examines the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan.
The new evidence shows the U.S. government wasn't prepared for the collapse of the Afghan government. Basil Johns in Washington with more.
A newly released report says the State Department wasn't prepared for the collapse of the Afghan government as the U.S. withdrew in 2021.
This is a State Department report. Clearly, it is part of the administration. If that's what it lays out, that's what it lays out.
The report says the department failed to plan enough under both administrations, including after President Biden decided to follow through with a deal President Trump reached with the Taliban.
We had to make a tough decision on what to do with the nation's longest war.
The review also notes that giving Bagram Air Base to the Afghan government early on limited the U.S.'s ability to withdraw through the single remaining airport.
We're going to need to investigate decisions around Bagram Air Base.
On Fox News Sunday, Massachusetts Democratic Congressman Jake Auchincloss says while he still has questions, there was no good solution for ending a failed war.
The bigger mistake here would have been to keep troops in Afghanistan for another decade, another $1 trillion, more lives lost for a war that could not be won.
The blame for what happened here falls squarely on the current commander-in-chief.
Former Vice President Mike Pence told CBS's Face the Nation the prior administration did its job.
When the Taliban broke the deal and moved into Mazar al-Sharif, and Joe Biden did nothing, that set into motion the catastrophe that became Afghanistan.
Reporting in Washington, I'm Basil John.
We've got a hot start to the week as we head into the holiday.
Up next, Candace will look at the potential for some midweek showers and a drop in temperatures.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
All right, stand by.
Well, good evening. Welcome back. There are a lot of things going on here these next couple of days, and one of the events taking place will take you right down here to Mount Morris, the Let Freedom Ring 4th of July festivities. And joining me now here is Keith Avey. I mean, you guys have been planning for this for quite some time. Yeah, and you've got a lot of events going on these next couple of days. So tell me a little bit about what's going on down here in Mount Morris.
Well, this is our 60th year of the Let Freedom Ring Festival, so we made it a little bigger this year.
Yeah.
Tonight we've got the car show, the band, the kiddie parade, and then the firemen have the kids' water fights right here on Main Street, which is always a highlight of the kids' event.
It sure is.
And then we roll into tomorrow. We've got a donation breakfast at the firehouse, and then the Hoboken County Airport has a fly-in drive-in breakfast. So there'll be a lot of cool planes out there if you want to go check out some airplanes.
Sure.
And then 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock on the band shell, everything starts here. We've got Beat Feet. They're gymnastics. They're going to do a tumbling routine. And then at noon we go into the Let Freedom Ring, VFW / they do the patriotic event, do the program. Then at 1 o'clock, we ring the official Mount Morris. It's the official Freedom Bell for Illinois. We ring that at 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock is the grand parade. And after the parade, we'll move everything down to the old school. We'll have food trucks, 2 bands, and the fireworks at 9:30.
Oh, you guys,
So a lot.
Yeah, you guys have a lot going on, and I have to say, I say thank you so much for letting me come down, because I've enjoyed judging the kiddie parade that has taken place. I know a lot of kids are decorating their bicycles, tricycles, whatever. If somebody, it's a little too late maybe to join now, but next year, if somebody's interested in that, how can they get involved with that?
It'll be Saturday after the 4th next year.
Okay.
We'll have a time. You just come down, you register the day of the parade, and it takes about 1 block. It takes about 10 minutes, so kids have a blast. And then afterwards, we always have the water fights, so we go right into the water fights, and they just get soaked. And I'll probably jump in there tonight too.
I think that's probably a good idea, because it's been hot today. And
Sure.
yeah, and the weather's cooperating. Well, Keith, I know you're very busy with everything getting on, so thank you so much for taking some time here. And looking forward to that taking place, the kiddie parade here at 6 o'clock. So hopefully you guys will be able to see that.
And we thank you too. This is, I don't know, 7th year, 8th year, I believe.
I was trying to think how long it's been, but yeah, no, it is my pleasure to come down every year. It's always a good host and a fun time down here, and the weather has been wonderful. So thank you so much, Keith,
Thank
for
you
that.
very much.
And as we mentioned, jumping in to get into some water today, it's going to be a good idea, because it's been a toasty one as our temperatures have made it into the upper 80s, low 90s. We take you up north a little bit to the northeast, our SkyTrack camera out in Poplar Grove. We've had some fair weather cumulus clouds pop up, but so far the rain has held off for much of us. Our temperatures have been in those upper 80s and low 90s. We are sitting at 90 degrees right now in Janesville, 86 in Poplar Grove, and 88 in Rockford. Our dew point temperatures have gone up, but they've also come down over the last couple of hours, so it's not feeling as humid as what it was earlier today. Tomorrow, that will be a little bit of a different story. Now, we've had some showers that have formed well to the northwest of us, a couple of isolated showers down to the south, but I think for anything that'll be taking place here this evening should be a-okay. Temperatures tonight a little more muggy than what we woke up to here this morning, 66. 91 for tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, a hot and humid day. Can't rule out an isolated thunderstorm or two as we go throughout the afternoon. Now, I know a lot of events are taking place here this evening for fireworks, so no issues with that. Tomorrow for the parade, there is a chance for an isolated shower thunderstorm, so we will need to keep an eye to the sky as we go throughout anytime after about 1, 2 o'clock tomorrow up until about 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. After that, things look to clear out, but that'll be a little bit of a different story, unfortunately, once we get into Wednesday. There's a strong cold front that comes through Wednesday afternoon, and that could bring us around of some strong to severe showers and thunderstorms. Wind and hail would be the primary threat with that. Now, notice on Futurecast, we do have an isolated shower storm. May form with some outflow boundaries, guys, that form from some thunderstorms later tonight to the northwest. So as I mentioned, we'll keep an eye out for that. I think we've got a 20-25% chance for a shower or thunderstorm once we get into tomorrow afternoon, but then should dry out once we get into tomorrow evening. Wednesday, Eric and Mimi, that'll be the time frame we're keeping an eye on. Again, anywhere from 1 to 2 o'clock up until about 7, 8 o'clock Wednesday evening for that threat for strong to severe thunderstorms. We'll look at that 7-day forecast coming up here a little later. But for now, I will toss it back over to you guys.
It's probably a good sign that the most colorful graphic was Wednesday and not
tomorrow.
Tuesday.
Yes.
Thanks, Candace.
Scott's in next with sports.
The Cubs open a key series with the first place Brewers. We'll see if Chicago could gain ground on their rivals to the north.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
The Cubs need to be playing their best baseball right now, considering they're playing the first place Brewers, but they're not. Game 1 of a 4-game set in Milwaukee was played this afternoon. The Cubs could not hold a 6-0 lead in this one. In the 7th inning, Brewers pinch hitter Jahmai Jones doubles deep to center off Anthony Kay with the bases loaded. 3 runs scored, and the game is tied up at 6. In the 8th inning, Willie Adames is up with 2 men on. He gets a base hit. William Contreras scored. The Brewers had their first lead 7-6 and then tacked on another run. Dansby Swanson was the Cubs' last hope in the top of the 9th with 2 on, but All-Star Devin Williams strikes him out. Williams notches his 18th save, and the Brewers took Game 1 of the series 8-6. The White Sox have today off. They will host the Blue Jays tomorrow night. Lucas Giolito will pitch. NASCAR officials could not be more thrilled with the first road race in downtown Chicago. Yeah, the rain was a problem yesterday, shortening the race from 100 laps to 75. but those 75 laps delivered entertaining racing and a great spectacle with the Chicago skyscrapers and the lake in the background. And there was New Zealand's Shane Bingensbergen winning in his first ever Cup race. NASCAR will return to Chicago next year, has a 3-year agreement with the city. Locally, the Rockford Speedway has lots of racing fun coming up to celebrate the 4th of July holiday. Tonight, it's the track Spirit of 76 event. The main event will be a 76-lap late model feature race. Short trackers, sixers, and spectator drags will also happen, plus fireworks at the end of the night. The racing will begin at 7:07. The Bears got some bad news today. Former defense coordinator Vince Tobin has died. He was 79 years old. No cause of death has been released. Tobin oversaw some of those great Bears defenses after Buddy Ryan left following their 1985 Super Bowl season. He later became the head coach of the Cardinals. Novak Djokovic's bid to make more tennis history is underway. He won his opening round match at Wimbledon today in straight sets over Pedro Cachin of Argentina. Djokovic is trying to win his 5th straight Wimbledon championship, which would tie the all-time record. He's also going for his 8th Wimbledon championship overall, and that would also tie the record that is held by Roger Federer. On the women's side today, Coco Gauff was upset and Venus Williams lost her match. That's sports. We'll be right back.
In Mount Morris for their Let Freedom Ring Festival. A lot of stuff going on, not only tonight, but also throughout the day tomorrow. At 6 o'clock tonight, the Kitty Parade will take place, and already those kids are lining up with their cars, bicycles that they decorated to go down the block, and then, of course, having the water fun afterwards. It's been a good day to get in the water, as temperatures have been quite sticky out there this afternoon, and hot, too, upper 80s, low 90s. Our radar, however, has been nice and dry. The first warning interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We've had a couple of showers well to the northwest, a few isolated ones popping to the south, but I think our skies will stay dry here as we go through the night. Still a little on the warm side, humidity coming down just a bit. Temperatures tonight down around 66. It will get steamy tomorrow and even a little more muggy tomorrow night, 91 for our Tuesday. Now we are going to have to watch the chance for a shower thunderstorm for the afternoon, so we'll keep an eye to the sky for that. So if you've got plans for tomorrow afternoon or early evening, just be mindful of that. But I think fireworks will be okay for tomorrow evening. Fireworks tonight, no issues with that. Chance for strong, severe thunderstorms coming in on Wednesday with a cold front. Wind and hail would be the primary threat with that. A humid day. Behind that, though, temperatures, they will drop just a little. It will feel a little more comfortable. Upper 70s, lower 80s through the end of the week.
All right, thanks, Candace.
And thank you for spending some time with us. Stay safe.